Morning. Hello. I hope you enjoy your shirt.
I don't know.
Are you here for a
tour or?
Well, you can look around in here and she's gonna get ready and take a tour in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So you got here on the right side.
Well, good.
It's always the right side.
It always. You make it sound more impressive when you say it.
Yeah, it's in a video.
In 1857. Long before there were any settlers in this area, it was just Indians. The Potawatomis were on the north side of the river, the Miamis were on the south side. In 1836, a man named John Anderson, I believe he was some kind of a senator or something, he brought his family and they settled over there on a Squirrel Creek, a creek that runs into the river down there.
Okay.
And of course they set up household with your corn cracker and your cider mill and your sawmill and everything you needed to set up household. Then about 1838, a man named Thomas Gowdy moved to this area and he put in the dam.
Okay.
It was a timber dam at first, and he put in the first mill and it was out in the middle of the river and you had a ramp to get to it, but it got washed away in a flood. And then in 1857, two guys, Baker and Rank, that built mills, put this one up, and it's been here for 158 years.
Wow, wow. Interesting.
The yeah, the siding. We'll start walking this way. The siding on the east and west sides are still the original siding. The batten has been replaced.
Okay,
The
okay.
wayshed was put in the early 1900s, so it's not quite as old as the rest of it. And over on that hillside, back in the heyday of this place, there's a place called a cooperage. And you know what they made at a cooperage? They made barrels.
Oh, okay.
During the Civil War, this mill produced flour
Okay.
for this Union Army during the Civil War. So they put it in barrels, took it to Wabash and shipped it out by train in barrels. And let's see, 1964, they quit producing flour here at the mill because they made animal feed and flour.
Okay.
But
okay.
food laws were changing, better ways of producing flour were being invented. So this was kind of becoming obsolete. But it wasn't until 1972 that they quit making animal feed. They shut the place down. It sat for 30 years. The man that owned it last lived in that house right over there.
Oh,
In the mill.
I see. Okay.
And then Dwight and Suzanne Fouch purchased it. And we've had it renovated. And now it belongs to the Stockdale Mill Foundation. It belongs to
Okay.
everybody. At least we got some water today.
Yes, and I love the roar of that.
I hope the turbines will work. We'll see about that. It's called the mill race. It's usually like 5 to 6 foot deep. But the water, the way it works is the water is drawn in when they turn the turbines on, falls down
Okay.
same height as the dam,
Yeah.
goes through the turbine floor, makes the turbines run, goes down to another sub-basement, and shoots out the south end of the building. Because you
okay.
were only allowed to borrow the water.
Okay, right.
You
Yeah.
had to sign a contract to borrow it. And we can go
Okay.
inside if you want to.
Sure.
Early 1900s, the timber dam was being repaired. When you get up to the office, you'll see pictures of them putting cement on the dam. And America did not have any cement at that time, so we had to import it.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow.
This is where our famous duck race happens. You're here tomorrow. This is Saturday, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Here tomorrow at 2, you can watch the duck race. If they dump the duck down there, the first 3 over the dam win.
I think I'll pass on the duck
Okay.
race.
It's been here in Roann.
But I really appreciate old tools, and
Well, man, you're gonna love
I
this.
love this type of stuff here.
You go ahead and video.
So use the same kind of equipment.
The most important box.
Oh wow,
Self-flushing toilet.
toilet, amazing, modern conveniences.
Behind you now, one person could run this entire mill. There's 4 floors. There's a floor below us, it's just a mud floor. And then there's 4 and 2 more.
Wow.
There. upstairs. You got this floor, main floor, and 2 floors above it. So I told you to say we have 4 floors for touring, one, you know, we're working down to 2 on a day like this. One person can run this entire mill. And this he was called a miller. Well, you're here all day. Sometimes you have to do step back. Right here. It's start pushing. Instead of it, it's still pushing. You do a lot down there.
This is a main power shaft. It's run by 3 turbines, 2 35-inch ones and 1 30-inch one. And it was produced 75 horsepower when all 3 were running. And it's run by belts and gears or the floors connected by belts.
Wow. This is amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing that it's still here because it sat for 30 years.
Yeah, yep.
The animals got in, but people didn't ruin it. And here's our flood records.
Oh, wow. 1959, the water came up this high.
2013.
2013. Wow.
And that is why there's cracks in between the boards.
I
Flood,
see.
the water can get back down.
Oh, okay.
It's not shabby
Makes sense.
workmanship.
This is amazing. That's workmanship.
Yes, it is. This is workmanship.
Oh, sure.
The beams
Beautiful beams.
made out of
Beautiful.
single trees. They're not
Yeah,
sliced.
sure. Some of them you run into actually still have the bark on there.
That was unique.
That's from one tree, one beam. Wow.
And hand hewn.
I'll be here for another 1,000 years.
If nothing happens to it.
Yeah, as long as North Korea don't get crazy.
Yeah.
They are crazy though.
There's
Okay,
6
this
more
is like an
steps.
elevator.
Yeah, they're elevators.
Yeah, basically. For the grain. Yeah.
This, when we get up to the next floor, this funnel here is where the wheat is dumped down into. Comes through those chutes, and that chain is called drag. It drags
Right.
over to this first set of legs here. This set of legs takes it clear up to the top floor to be cleaned. So it goes
Okay.
from the basement to the top to start its production. That second leg there is a second cleaner. And when
Okay.
it goes into storage, then after that it will go in, those 6 sets of legs make actual flour. These just clean the wheat.
Okay.
Those deal with actual flour production. So
Okay,
after
okay.
these 2 cleanings, you'll see, it'll make more sense on the upper floors. It'll go into the flour production. This is the area where it made animal feed. There was a hammer mill, corn sheller, and I can't remember what all
Yeah,
down here.
That's a hammer mill. Yes, yes. Wow.
This is called lignum. I'm never get it right. Vitae, whatever. It's 85 pounds per square foot. It's wood from the West Indies. That's what they have.
This is wood?
That's wood. It does not float, and that's what they had on the bottoms of their turbines to keep the turbines
Okay.
from floating up.
Feels like plastic, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's
You could tell it's wood.
And go on back in here,
Huge gears. Huge gears. Okay.
and you'll see on this that they have wood and metal, so that you didn't have metal on metal to produce a spark.
Okay. Yeah.
As you know, that's why there's a lot of mills gone because of.
Wow.
And there is the turbine floor.
Oh.
We need to. I'll start
Okay,
this.
that's
I'll let you
glass.
start it, or I'll start it for you.
Huh.
We always ring the bell so nobody gets their fingers. We'll get their fingers out of the way. Opening up the turbines. Let the water in.
Oh, I see.
This is where the power goes from horizontal to vertical. Yeah, horizontal to vertical right here.
Okay.
And it goes vertical to horizontal, I mean. And then it goes floor to floor to
Wow. Wow. Love that noise.
See it. The second one, you'd have to get a better look at it, but it's in 9 sections.
Okay.
And if you would look at it closely, you could see that it's totally different material than the one that you find around here. It's because that's the one that was buried in the ground.
Oh,
We dug it up
okay.
in about 2006, 2008. And the story behind that is it's from France. The best kind of grinding material that any miller in America would love to have was over at a mining site in France. But nobody in America could afford to have a grinding stone shipped over. So what they did is they took the scrap pieces from the mining site, put them in ships as ballast, shipped them across the Atlantic, and the millers here in America would buy scrap pieces, have a stone dresser, dress the stones, because there's like eight stones and then one in the middle for a hanger, and dress it, put a handle on it, put a belt around the outside of it, a band around the outside of it.
Okay.
Of course, they had one of hung and one was stationary. The top one was like that, and the grooves that stone dresser would put in was where the grain would travel.
Okay.
So anyway, if you take a look at that, if the grain stops, you can see that it's totally different material than anything you're going to find around here.
Yeah, I noticed there was a difference between the two.
So that's the one we have been
This is also very interesting
Yes, it
too.
This is the way shape.
The old
like I said, it's-
wagon, and that's how they brought their grain into market and to the granary, and
Yep. You take the horse off and you can weigh it, and that's one of the things we actually
Okay.
have fixed is the
Okay.
scales. Little scales down here. Then they would weigh it
okay.
full, put those rings around the wheels, and there's a crank down there that you would crank up the front end, dump the wheat through that hole, and it would go down to that funnel that we saw in the basement. You can actually see the chains that we saw in the basement, the drags.
oh, okay, yeah,
Drag it over to that
yeah.
first set of legs, take it upstairs to be cleaned. Then they would weigh it empty, and then the farmer would know how much wheat he brought in, and then he would get his year's supply of wheat or flour ground, or
Those
he could sell it
barrels
to
are-
the mill or whatever.
Those barrels are very interesting
Yes.
too. They're very old.
I'm not sure. Somebody gave us the wagon. Somebody gave us that seat.
This is very, very cool. Very cool.
I wish our
And
sign
the old
wasn't.
implements, a har. I guess they're both considered a har, I would guess. Or one's a cedar.
Yeah, one's a cedar.
Yeah.
Those were donated. We've had a lot of people donate time and energy and money and help.
Yeah,
And that is fading away.
Well, that's what makes a difference. That's community.
Yes, and that's what it's been.
Yep,
We have a lot of community support.
yep.
I love this door because there's pictures drawn on it, there's math problems, there's staples, there's tacks with little bits of paper. Most of it I think I heard was like sales slips, but I'm sure
Right.
somebody
Yeah,
advertised, "Hey, I got
yeah,
kittens
yeah.
for sale, or I got kittens to give."
Yeah.
I would love to see what they There's an Indian head. Oh, Indian heads down there. I don't know, there's just little drawings on here that I've noticed over the years. And this drop chute, there's 3 big storage bins up above that if you wanted to load your wagon, you could just drop that
Right,
down
yeah,
and load
yeah.
your wagon with
Sure.
something. This, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's adding machine, the safe, and the receipt machine are all originals, and so is this seat. Other stuff has been donated.
This chair is original.
Yeah, this is original chair.
That is beautiful. Looks like cherry wood to me.
Yeah, sure does, doesn't it?
It is cherry. Oh, I love that stove. That's got character.
I was donated.
Typewriter. Oh, beautiful.
Here, we like-
Kids, this is what the old calculators used to look like.
Yes. We like to give, we have all these receipts. We have so many of them. We like to give them away.
Uh,
And And there's some of them.
You got the date on there, 19?
Yeah, 1934.
Wow.
Oh, that's 35 there.
Yeah.
But these are all 34, 35, most of them. But if you would like to have one of these, you can have one.
Save her for Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a picture that I've talked about. The 1915, 1916 of them, they blocked off the water so they could put the cement on the dam.
Oh, okay.
And that dam is incredibly level.
Yeah. It looks level to me. Definitely.
They measured it out there and it's very level. These things on the wall, the museum gave us just for some little flavor. This is where, I suppose there was a table here, I'm not even sure, but Addison from.
Well, they had to have someplace for coffee, you know?
Right. And his sons would come over and like he would have one of his sons come over and maybe get a load of flour going, and then he would sit down and do his homework. Once he got everything running, you know how you're familiar with something, you can tell by the sound that everything's running smoothly. We got it all running, he could come in and do his homework. Pennsylvania with his father, he was a stone dresser, and so was his father. Dad eventually went back, he purchased the mill, passed it on to his son, James H. Deck, who passed it on to his daughter and son-in-law, who are the ones that lived there, Addison and Norma Crum. And their sons, one of their sons is a tour guide here. So it's interesting to have him. And then after he closed it down in 72, 30 years later, Dwight and Suzanne Fouts purchased it.
Nice.
Now it belongs to everybody.
Okay.
Here's a really depressing picture of the mill. Obviously it was before 1909 because the weigh shed is not on there.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so different.
Major work.
Yeah, and the countryside is so different in that picture than what it is now. So much grown up since then.
Okay.
This floor is where the machinery is. This is a floor scale. You know, sometimes a farmer might bring in sacks of something instead of wagon loads. And here's a bin scale. You can weigh out, I suppose, stuff from up above. I'm not quite sure, but there's a bin scale, a floor scale. There's a workbench that was over here.
Yep.
And here are some iron rollers that I was telling you about. After when they invented iron rollers, they invented these machines called brakes. Each of these brakes, 4 brakes, has 2 sets of rollers in them, and the wheat goes through each set of rollers, goes up to a top floor to have the bran taken out, the middlings taken out, the cream of wheat taken out, and then you're left with your flour. But here's samples.
Okay.
They used pure silk to sift the flour. Here's how it started out the wheat. And after it went through the first set of breaks, it's called breaks because they break up the wheat. The outer layer is the bran. Middlings was just something that they bagged for chicken feed. Now they just grind it up and put it back in. Your cream of wheat or your cereal was bagged in that little bitty spout right there. And then your flour bagged right here. But this is the... That's above here is the flour bin.
Okay.
Above on the next floor is the middlings bin. That didn't have a bin, just had a sifter, but we'll see that on the next floor. And the bran comes from a huge bin upstairs, but we'll see all that on the next floor. These are what the 8 steps look like. This is after the wheat has gone through the first set of breaks. You can see that it's brown and it's still got the bran in it. Then it goes up and goes through another process. Here's 8 of them. There's 8
processes.
8 processes. And by the time it gets to the end, you got your nice flour.
Yeah.
It's sifted and sifted and sifted and separated, everything separated out. So,
very interesting. Very interesting.
This is the wheel that turns on this 35-inch turbine that you saw down there.
Okay.
And you can see one of the rollers.
Yeah.
And when they first started putting this place back together, these were not in the right place. They were sitting over to the side, and they thought, how are we going to know where to put them? Because you can tell they all connect differently. Somebody had stood back there at one point and taken a photo. So somebody had a picture of the order that they stood in. So they gave us that and we were able to put it back in the right place. And somebody would stand at the top and drop a marble down through a chute to see if we had the chutes in the right place too. If it came out in the right place, we knew we had the connection right.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
This is stone dressers tools. They need to make a perfectly level stone in order for it to work well. You can get the nice grooves in there. And here's a stone dresser's pick.
Okay.
And how they would get it so flat is that they would have a paint stick and they would have a proof stack. Well, actually, it's a proof paint stack and a proof stack. This piece of iron is never going to bend, so this is what they would take, a piece of wood, and they would prove it against it to see if it was perfectly flat, put some paint on the end of it, rub it across the top, and if there were any raised areas that needed to be sanded down or chipped away, they would have paint on it. So they knew, and I've heard people say that that's the same thing they use today. In some, I forget what areas of work, but that's how they made their stones so nice and this box is what it came in, and we had a guy that's a professional in mills come through, and he said that so many mills had donated this hunk of iron during the war to be melted down for weapons, so there weren't a whole lot of them left. So we're very
I believe that.
privileged to have this one left.
Yeah.
Of course, that's your bran. So that it's fluffy, so you could either have it packed or bagged. Here's the bagger.
Right.
Feel free to go around and video the bag.
I'm very familiar with one of these. I actually have two of them. I have one out of wood.
Oh, really? Made out of wood?
Made out of wood, yes.
Well, how do you bore holes in wood with it, right? How do you
Yeah,
bore
for the
holes?
beams, then
Yeah.
they use the pins.
Right, we got those all over.
Yeah. Sure. Boy, that is one huge beam right there, too.
It is.
That's approximately 16-inch square. That's a healthy tree. One healthy tree. Okay.
And these are all things that the museum donated also. Tachometer. You might want to give a look at that one. That's the original tachometer.
This here? Really?
Yep.
Tachometer. Imagine that. Wow. Mercy. That is so cool.
And it still works just fine.
Wow.
Because we didn't have electricity in the 40s. The knob came in, I believe, in one of the places. Interesting thing, I don't think they planned this, but when the mill was running, there's a sifter on the top floor that blocks the building. This building, the beams are free floating. They just, they're notched. There's no nails used in it because it's like a skyscraper. It had to have some giving. First of all, they probably built it with green wood because you had time to wait. Second of all, like you saw in the basement, the moisture content up and down, up and down. Plus that sifter on the top floor just made the building move. So they had to have a lot of give in these beams. When the place was running smooth, this light bulb would be straight and nice.
Okay.
Yeah. When there was a plug in the system, the building would rock differently. So this would swing differently. So they could tell when there was a plug somewhere by the way that.
This is an elevator.
It's called a man lift. It's got a counterweight in here, 150-pound counterweight. Kept him from running up and down the stairs a million times.
Yeah.
That's the brake. Pull the brake, pull that out, and either pull yourself up or slow yourself down. Make it whip up and
Beats
down.
using the stairs 20, 30 times a shift. Well, yeah.
And then what's neat is we kept the old stairs, we put them on the back, But you can see indentions of where they ran up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I believe that.
And this, we're gonna say about it. Oh, this. The bell on this, because this is the floor the customers came in, but if there
Okay.
was one person working here and he had to jump on the man up, go up and take a plug out or something upstairs, on a humid day, or work on something, that way he knew that the customer knew to come over and ring the bell, and he could come down and wait on him. This is a good view of the legs,
okay.
that work. And you're gonna see regulators and chutes everywhere. I don't know where they all come from, where they all go. You could just stand here forever. They knew where they go.
But the people doing the restoration are doing a good job. Even though it looks a little more modern, screws are used instead of square nails and what have you, it still gives it enough to appreciate what was there before.
And that's the goal. Everybody that's here loves this place. And that's half the battle right there. If
Yeah,
you love what
yeah.
you're doing.
I love things like the old scale like this. I mean, it's...
Where do you live? You live out here? Yeah. Storage bins that they didn't really use much. This is that dust collector called Cyclone.
Oh, dust collector and to the outdoors, right?
Yep. There's a vent
Yep.
there. You can see the vent. And the dust went, and then the rest of that material would go back down for bedding.
Okay.
Fourth floor. This is where most of the machinery is. And the most beautiful view.
Oh my.
This is where the water comes back out of the building. As you see it coming out, goes down.
Beautiful.
There's Mr. Bell.
Yeah. Bell for the elevator.
Yeah. This is the section that sifted out the bran. This top one sifted out the middlings. There were screens around it and brushes, and the brushes would brush the material as it went through against the screen. Push the bran out through this one. Middlings would be pushed out through that one. You got your auger down there to take it to the chute, and it would drop down into either the bran bin or the middlings bin.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
So well designed, and to think so many years ago.
Yes, and it doesn't look like it didn't do anything. This is that sifter. It's on a, I think they call it an offset.
Okay.
I call it a swivel thing. Because it swivels.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's hanging on dowel rods, 24 dowel rods.
Wow.
And the trays over there would be 8 deep and 8 wide. And it would come through, the flour would come over the top, come down these chutes, and go through those screens and be sifted. We use pure silk from Switzerland when we sifted our flour. These stockings used to be made of silk. And now that it's not full of flour, it has kept bumping into this coast. We had to keep hacking off the coast. But this is that sifter. When it was running full force, it makes the building just rock. The last stage the flour went through, again, it was a spinning process called a purifier. From this, it would drop down into the flour bin that we saw
Down below.
There's our 2 chutes that we legs that we met in the basement. This is the first one. The wheat comes up,
Okay.
and it goes through that chute and comes into this receiving separator. The combine eventually replaced this, but the other side is where all the action is. It goes down that chute and through a fanning mill, and all the dust is blown out this bin. You're gonna like this. The wheat comes down onto this tray and vibrates down through the holes, and then it goes down a chute into another other cleaner. Goes to that second legs into another cleaner. But all your junk, your grasshoppers, your stickers, your rocks, all your other junk stays on top of this tray, vibrates down to that little funnel thing,
Okay.
into a bucket. And they would, I don't know if they shoot it out the window, but.
Amazing.
And the neat thing is, all these machines had to be put together in place, And they had to be in just the right place because everything the floor below this connects to this, and then the floor below that. So everything had to be in just the right place.
And this, folks, are cedar shingles.
Yeah, and we got to replace. We got to replace. We got a lot of leaks. You can see.
Yeah, they a few, but
Well, they're all over there too. We get big wet spots. It's eventually gonna.
it takes a specialist to know how to cut them.
That's why we're trying to raise some money. That's that second cleaner. It's called the scourer. After it goes. Oh my gosh! I hurried through the second floor and didn't even show you the tempering bin. You can give me a D minus.
No.
We can look at it. But the tempering bin is where they put the wet and dry together.
Okay.
So that it would be the right moisture content. It has to
Okay.
be 11% moisture content or it doesn't grind right. Just like farmers nowadays, they take their crops to
They got
sell.
too much moisture.
Too much moisture.
They lose
don't.
money.
Right.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah.
We don't lose money here. It just doesn't work right.
Right,
So after it
right.
goes through the tempering bin, then it goes into storage to be ready to be made into flour. Another dust collector.
Uh-huh.
These are just
Love that made out of wood. Just that's what I really like.
well, that is a blessing in disguise because when our roof blew off in 2001, 2002, whatever it was, I can't remember, it exposed a rotten beam back there. So this part of the roof was going to go anyway. So Rice says, make sure you point out our blessing in disguise.
Wow, that's a blessing in disguise right there, folks.
These are just caps that go on the top. We took them off so you could see the action going on.
Okay, okay.
There's a ladder, catwalk, a little grease can. I need to get up there and work on.
Love it. Wonderful.
Shoot over there. I'll show you. Metal that might have broke off in the system.
Uh-huh.
The flour had to go through there. It doesn't have much magnetism left anymore, but that was its job, to catch metal that
Okay.
to keep it from going in.
Yeah, because you don't want that going to somebody's bag of flour
And they still
then
use
somebody
magnets.
consuming it.
That's right. But they still use magnets today. That's what people have told me.
They do. I didn't know that.
In, I suppose, cornmeal and flour places, because you don't have to pay them, and they do the job.
Like
So,
Kellogg's cornflakes are made in China. I'm sure Chinese are on top of the using magnets.
probably.
I doubt it.
Cornflakes are made in China.
I doubt it.
Pull it. Knock it loose so it will come down and back. This
Okay.
washing machine motor. Addison got tired of having to stop everything and move the machinery to baggers, so he went over and took his wife's washing machine apart, took her motor, and
I've seen those before.
set that up with this.
Yep. That's how they got it unstuck.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they have wooden reversible augers.
Wow. It's all out of wood.
Yep.
Amazing.
Like I said, you got chutes coming down everywhere. You can
Yep,
bag
yep.
things from the big storage bins on the
Yep.
top floor if you need to. This is the animal feed section. This is that oats hauler I was telling you about.
Color. Uh-huh.
This is just you can control how much oats went into your animal feed. This went down to the corn sheller. You got your regulators, you got your chutes, some more stuff from that.
An old sigh. All different bags. Marion, Alexandria, Noblesville. And I actually have one of these right here.
Do ya?
Yeah. I used to use that for my feed. And then I went to the newer aluminum.
So were you a farmer?
No, I raised exotic birds,
Oh, okay.
pheasants, and oh, I love this. This is nice. the mill, some of the original siding. Yep, this is where the water enters. If somebody wants a drink of water, it's available right there. The outside's got a lot of character. A lot of character. Love these benches here. They're great. A little wet, it's been raining. American flag. And the state of Indiana flag. One last view. I love that reflection too.